Wonderful. Ninad graduated from Georgia Tech. Yeah. So we have that kind of connection. We'll just get started in a little bit, warm up. And also, I want to share that I have a wonderful mini course where, I'm sorry, let me just I'm sorry, I'm just talking again through YouTube. So Ninad did a project in his first year of Georgia Tech during the pandemic with my other professor, where I'm just going to explain that later. I'll just keep that as a surprise. So I just created a whole mini course on how to create a passion project in AI. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone. Everyone's been asking a lot of questions as to how to build a profile and everything. And I wanted to share that. And that's why I invited Ninad. So Ninad is my son, of course, and he's the reason this whole thing started. And he started Gifted Gabber, actually. And I was only doing the marketing like every parent does. Hey, look at this! My son is doing this, or my son is conducting this. Please come and join. So that is how it started. Gifted Gabber is his company, but then when he went to college, I took over. But the unique thing about Ninad and us is I was not a college counselor when he was building his profile. I was in the corporate world. I was in Vanguard as a data governance person. Okay, and he worked with his school to build his own profile. And I really want you guys to hear from him. Okay, so I'm not going to talk today. Without further ado, go ahead, Ninad, introduce yourself.
Sure. Yeah, let me start sharing my screen. What's up, everybody? Ninad here. Yeah, Coach Joe's son. Wanted to spend some time today. Thanks for allowing me to talk, Coach Joe. But wanted to spend some time today talking about AI, right? And talking about why it's important and um, how we can build AI expertise now, right? As some prospective high schoolers or prospective high school parents here, current high school parents too, right? What can we do to hop on this AI revolution and really make sure that we're ready and successful? So I want to talk first a little bit more about my journey. As Coach Joe mentioned, in high school, I did quite a bit in terms of course load. I ended up taking 20 APs, including, AP Computer Science, AP Computer Science Principles, amongst others. Due to the APs and kind of my academic approach, I ended up being valedictorian, gratefully, which was a cool experience. Outside of the school stuff, which I can talk more about in my journey. Um, One thing that was really also kind of important in my high school journey, and one thing I'll touch upon a little more, was crypto research. So I was super into crypto back then. It still kind of is now, but back then it was really the technology, right? The fad back in 2016, 2017, that time. So in high school, I really tried and try to delve into crypto and end up creating research, producing that research paper along with the help of very fantastic professors, which I'll touch more on. And of course, Gifted Gabber was a big part of my life in high school, and then still definitely a part of it. But Coach Joe and my mom took it over and did wonderful things with it. Cool. So that was high school. Very academically involved, and not only in terms of computer science, but also out in other fields. I really loved social studies. I really loved science. All the scientists. I took AP Bio, AP Chemistry. So academically, I was very involved, but I also really enjoyed some research and some external activities, which you'll see in computer science. And then I went to Georgia Tech, and due to the APs, which I highly encourage. This is one topic of discussion in this wonderful webinar today. But due to the APs I took in high school, I was able to graduate from Georgia Tech in a very accelerated fashion. Ended up doing my bachelor's and my master's, during my time in 3.5 years, which was awesome. And a lot of it was because a lot of the general education courses, the ones you kind of have to take if you don't come in with any credits, I was able to waive off because of my AP credit. So there's one thing I would encourage here for students and stuff like that is don't discount the merit of APs. Sure, they might be hard in high school, right? And it requires a little bit more work. But if you push yourself and within bounds and really make sure that you take advantage of the APs that are offered within your school, you can use them in a lot of colleges, including Georgia Tech, to really accelerate your time there. And we're going to talk more about that, but I just wanted to talk about my journey. Okay. And then on top of that, when I was at Georgia Tech, I ended up doing 4 internships pretty much every summer during my time there as well, because again, I had a lot of APs, so I was able to waive off a lot of my courses. I was able to fit in internships during like the spring semester of college, which was a really awesome experience. I was able to learn a lot more. On top of that, within Georgia Tech, I was also a TA, teaching assistant for graduate AI. So I got to learn a lot about AI, not only learning AI, but also teaching AI to a lot of my fellow students at Georgia Tech. So it's kind of my initial journey with AI, with academics, with computer science. So far, so good. Cool. Yeah, and feel free to put those questions in the chat. We'll talk about them towards the end. Okay, so let's talk about how my journey and what I've learned really translate into why high schoolers, why parents should insist on their high schoolers learning AI now. And this is especially true if you're in computer science, right? If you're interested in computer science, right? So first, my crypto research. During high school, I was part of the AP Capstone program, which if your school offers it, I highly recommend you do it. It's basically very intense and awesome research as a high schooler that schools offer as an AP course, or 2 AP courses, AP Seminar and AP Research. So during that time, and also I spent a lot of time on it. So even outside of that course time, I was really involved in crypto. I loved learning about blockchain, how crypto transacts, and I ended up writing a research paper on that as well, right? Now we're going to talk more about the program towards the end, but I didn't have that program, right? And looking back in hindsight, it was really tough to start that research. It took a lot of self-effort, a lot of pain, a lot of moving directions to do that research myself without any type of real program guidance, right? So kind of the first lesson about AI here and learning AI now is that for my crypto research, right, I found it to be extremely fruitful to do that research up front, right? Again, it's not AI. Back in the day, AI wasn't as popular as, blockchain, as crypto. That was kind of the fad. But I think the same rings true, right? When you're a high schooler, and you really want to figure out more about what you want to do and figure out about computer science, I think AI is a fantastic starting point, and researching in AI is a fantastic starting point into computer science and into your career in general. So my crypto research is kind of was a big part of my life and a big reason about why I jumped into AI in college, and why I was so interested in computer science, right? So the same rings true here in high school. I think it's really important you touch upon research, right? Whether in this case AI, because it's the most popular thing right now, right? And when looking back at my experiences, one in particular, which was at Amazon, where I was an intern, um, even though my role wasn't directly doing particular AI stuff, right? My team was AI, my organization was AI. I touched, I lived, breathed AI. So the idea, like going back, when I was a student, learning about the fundamentals of computer science, learning about AI in high school, really prepared me for not only getting the job, but also doing well on the job for companies like Amazon, which are really big companies. They do AI at scale. Pretty much everything they do, like any part of the business that you're in, you're going to use AI at some point. And that was true in my case at Amazon. I worked on a team which did machine learning at scale for basically customer predictions, machine learning predictions at Amazon. So again, even though I wasn't a true AI engineer there, I really touched upon AI, and learning AI was really, really important, especially when looking into understanding machine learning at scale, right? So that's one other thing. The internships, getting internships, doing well in internships, AI starting early on is fantastic, right? Now, my third lesson was as a TA. There was a big difference between students who came to the AI course completely new, fresh about learning about computer science, or they haven't really fully programmed coming into the course, versus students who really understood programming, maybe understood the basics of AI and how to use it. There's a big difference, right? The former students, the students who didn't really know much about AI, know much about programming, really struggled with the course, right? It took them some time to pick up. It's hard. It's hard going from 0 to 100, right? Versus students who came to the AI course with preliminary knowledge, had Python down pat, excelled, right? They were able to do the assignments above and beyond, do well in the assignments, and really kick off their stuff. I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's definitely possible. I had very successful students who came to the course with little or no programming expertise. But it's really, really helpful if you pick up things early, you pick up AI early, you pick up computer science fundamentals early, moving forward in your career. The earlier you start, the easier it becomes when you learn new things. Right now, the fourth thing was the idea of an accelerated path. Right now, what does that mean? What does that mean here? Right. As I talked about, the APs that I use, APs that I took, I was able to transfer them into Georgia Tech and basically shave off a lot of my time at Georgia Tech. Now, the really good thing about that was I was able to fit in that time, right? That I had, extra time I had, not having to take a general education course, with really cool stuff, right? I was able to do an internship at Moderna, which is the vaccine company where I currently work, actually, during the spring semester, right? And if I didn't have the accelerated path, if I didn't take those APs, if I didn't transfer over those credits and shave off my time, fit in the masters, I really do think that I would have been able to get such rich experiences interning, during college, and learning so much about computer science, learning so much about AI, right? So kind of a really important side point here, is in starting early as well. It's important take those APs, right? Take those APs and take college courses if you can, to some, to the limits you can, because those credits, those courses can transfer on and really help you out in college, right? The accelerated path, I think, was really fruitful for me because if I didn't do that spring semester internship at Moderna, I wouldn't have been at Moderna now, right? I wouldn't have been able to do really cool stuff, and enjoy my job and get a job outside of college as easily if I didn't do that internship. Okay, so those are kind of the four kind of big reasons about why you should learn AI early, why you should learn AI now as a high schooler, and pick up on it, right? My experience as, doing crypto back in the day really taught me that starting early, innovating, trying to figure out what's going on early about computer science, about the fads and really trends in computer science is important. My experiences at Amazon really taught me that starting things early really helps you do well in a job environment, in a corporate environment. TA wise, of course, learning a course is much easier when you come with fundamental understanding. An accelerated path really leaves you, and last thing, accelerated path leaves you the flexibility to do what you want, right? To research more, to do internships, to pick up more skills, right? So kind of four very crucial things that I picked up on, and main reasons about why you should learn AI now. Okay. And thinking through about AI, right? I like to think in metaphors, right? One big metaphor came to mind here, and I'll explain how it relates to AI and really pretty much any skill you pick up on, right? Particularly AI. So let's just say you're an F1 team, right? An F1 team, their goal, which is Formula One, if you don't know, they're a big racing division. They do a lot of races and competitions, across the world. Their goal is they don't not only build this F1 car, right, but they also race it, right? And their goal is win the most races. Their drivers should, be highest in the polls overall, so they win the championship, right? I ask you, right? Let's say I'm building an F1 team. Who do you think will be better? Who do you think will win more, right? The race car driver, who doesn't know anything about the car itself, or the mechanic, right? I'd wager, right? You can feel free to drop your answers in the comment, but I wager the mechanic would do better in this competition, right? Because the race car driver might come to the competition with 2 pieces of wood and axles, right? The mechanic will come with a proper car, right? Can build that car from scratch, come with a proper car. And, maybe they may not have like the reflexes or the understanding of the track as much as a race car driver. But since their car is so good, and since they know how to drive, they'll win easily, right? Now, how does this relate to AI, right? For many of us, right? For many of us, we are currently race car drivers in AI, right? I use ChatGPT. We might have dabbled with using AI from time to time. Let's say, a lot of different use cases for AI, but one that comes to mind too is, flight predictions and stuff like that. There's a lot of applications and things you can use that use machine learning to give you predictions, right? GPT, of course, is the big one, right? I use GPT daily. I'm a race car driver there, right? And we're all race car drivers in that we use the machine, we use AI, right? We use AI as a car, in this scenario, right? But the actual mechanic, the mechanic who understands the fundamentals of AI, who understands the fundamentals of the F1 car, right? Who knows how to tweak it to be better, right? Knows how to innovate on the car, right? Those are the people who can really build something new, right? And basically, I gave some long-winded metaphor, but the kind of the crux of the point is you need to know the core of what's going on, right? You need to be down in the weeds of what's going on in order to innovate, in order to be ahead of the curve, right? For AI, that means understanding the fundamentals of AI, understanding the fundamentals of programming, of statistics, a lot of the mathematics involved, data science, so that you can innovate on AI and be ahead of the curve, right? If you just use AI, you won't be able to innovate, right? You won't be able to push yourself forward, in terms of building success, right? So be the mechanic here. Really understand and get down and deep with AI, right? Because that's how you're going to win the most races. Okay. Um, Fantastic, right? So I think in terms of what we talked about so far, right? Kind of the three pillars um, of learning, right? Of learning now. I think the three main reasons of learning now are fundamentals, passion, and innovation, right? Um, in high school, fundamentals, right? Fundamentals, a strong foundation to build on is really good, right? A lot of my friends, including myself, we came into college with understanding of Python, an understanding of Java, some programming expertise, right? And you might think that you want to come to college fresh, but in reality, like those fundamentals, picking them up early on, um, made courses a lot easier, right? Allowed me to research more and do more in internships, right? So the fundamentals you build on early on, right, can really help propel you in college, in your career, and beyond, right? Fundamentals, 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 right? So start early on the fundamentals, right? Pick up those things because the earlier you start, the more fundamentals that you have, the easier it becomes to innovate, the easier it becomes to be successful, right? The second thing is passion, right? Um, and one thing that always comes to mind, when I think about passion is nobody found their passion for art without touching a canvas, right? What do I mean by that? Passions are built by being hands-on, right? I can never have a passion for AI without actually going into AI and figuring out what it's about, without breaking a few things, without building something new, right? That's really the only way you can really build a passion, right? And of course, you might come to it being like, maybe computer science or maybe biology or whatever your field is that you were thinking about isn't the field that you want to go in. But there's no way to know that without actually going in trying it out, right? Similar with AI here, right? Let's say you have an interest for AI. You'll never know if you're going to be passionate about computer science, passionate about AI without picking up on it, without typing some stuff up, without breaking things, without trying new things in AI, without learning. Then you can figure out whether or not you have a passion, right? But nobody found their passion for art without touching a canvas, right? So try it, pick up on it, learn, see if it's right for you. And the last thing is trying to innovate. When thinking about research, right? That's kind of like that's kind of the main core of, I think, research, right? It's all about trying to innovate. There are cases where you might fall flat and not innovate, but the idea of trying to innovate is really important. And it's important because trying to innovate is how you learn the most, right? It's impossible for you to innovate without really understanding the fundamentals of what's going on, right? And B, it gets you in the habit of thinking differently, right? Apple's slogan was what? Think different. Um, and a lot of the reason why people are successful and why new things come to be is because they get into the habit of breaking things. They get into the habit of innovating, right? The same is true of AI. Okay. When you try to innovate, which is again research, right? Research is all about innovation and building new things. But when you try research, it forces you to learn, right? That's first. And it gets you comfortable with thinking differently, right? It gets you comfortable with trying new things, with breaking things, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. So when you do AI research, right, that's kind of a really crucial step. Is trying to innovate, right? And research in general. So three big pillars about research, about AI, and why it's important, and kind of what you need to facilitate now to build yourself for success more, right? Fundamentals, passion, and innovation. Okay. Now, how does this relate to what we're offering at Gifted Gabber, right? Now, Coach Joe and I and a lot of the fantastic team we have at Gifted Gabber, right? We're all about innovating. Again, it's kind of funny, but we're also all about innovating within our own company and trying out different things and seeing what can provide the most value for high schoolers, right? And the first thing I thought about was AI, right? Let's build an AI program that touches upon fundamentals, that gives you the freedom and flexibility to explore your passions, and also implores you to innovate, right? That's where our AI research and certification and AI practitioner program comes in, right? This program is geared for what I just talked about, right? It's geared for building a passion, is geared for developing the fundamentals of programming, of computer science, and also innovating in AI. Okay, these are kind of the fundamental pillars we've tried to, and we're definitely doing, but we are hoping to meld within this program, right? Now, what does this program offer? This program is awesome because it offers sessions with an AI expert who's actually a professor, program director at UMBC, which is University of Maryland's global program, as well as a creative writer, research professor, who is there to support students side by side, and really make sure that in this program, students go from 0 to 100. And by 0 means coming to it with little to no expertise in programming, little to no expertise in AI, come to it with a research paper, a proper research paper, right? That it can even, we're talking about submitting to journals, which I'll talk about, but a proper research paper, as well as the 100 coming after the program with the fundamental skills of programming and AI, right? Those are the kind of the really big things we want the students to come out to the program with, okay? So what does this program include? It comes with 10 live sessions with both the research professor and the creative writer and the writers, as well as one-on-one sessions, right? Which are touched upon here. And we're really want to make sure this is a formal and serious process where students can learn and innovate, right? So we also have a thesis defense, which is basically like going up to these professors, going up to the stage and being like, okay, is your research legitimate, right? Is what you did good and proper, right? So that's thesis defense. It's actually, it's very common in terms of research, right? Making sure that the stuff you've done can withhold the stress of defense, right? We also have meetings about submitting your research to research journals. We have a great kind of setup for that to make sure that we have the best chances and best success in that area. We also have research paper reviews. And this is all kind of tied into that actual AI research program, right? Is figuring out how we can build new research in AI, and make it legitimate, make it serious, make it a proper research paper, okay? Bundled with this program, which I think is also really fantastic, is the Python programmer certification preparation and AWS AI practitioner certification. In college, I did some fantastic certifications in Java and AWS, and I think they were really fundamental in terms of building my own skills, right? If you have these courses kind of force you to build the fundamental skill, build that foundation, because it takes you step by step, right? And really teaches you about the basics, right? And Python is super, super important for machine learning because, most machine learning is done in Python, and most AI is done in Python as well, right? And AWS is the tool for cloud hosting in terms of, a lot of things, but also AI. So the preparation for both of these, very important certifications is included within this program as well, bundled, which is fantastic because it really hits upon that fundamental pillar, right? Building that foundation, okay? And the last thing is we also include, the opportunity for an AI internship, which is basically like how students can mentor new AI researchers and develop those leadership and hands-on research skills during the summer, okay? So that's the basic program. And then that premium package really gives you even more face-to-face time, which is, it's face-to-face time is always a premium and always very necessary and good in research, but it gives you some of that more face-to-face time with the research professor and the creative writers with that premium package. Okay, so that's kind of what we're offering in terms of our AI research and preparation program here. Now I talked a lot here. I wanted to open it up to some questions from the audience. I'll tackle them.
Yeah, you want to stop. Yeah, they want to know what were the APs that you did in high school?
Yeah, sure. I know I mentioned them very briefly, but I can talk more about them. I did a lot of mathematics APs to start. I did calculus AB, BC, statistics. I did history as well. I loved history. I think history is an awesome subject. So did world history, U.S. history, government as well, and then I also took economics, micro, macro. Um, I did AP seminar, AP research, some physics, chemistry, bio, that type of stuff. They're all the AP classes. And then particularly for AI, I took AP Computer Science A, which was really helpful for my programming fundamentals, which they taught it in Java back in the day. I think they still do. And AP Computer Science Principles, which was a lot of mobile app development. Pretty fun stuff. So those are kind of the gist of all the main APs I took. They total up to 20.
Okay. Anyone has any questions, please raise your hand. I'll give you an opportunity to speak. The webinar thing is a little bit different, so I'll have to give you an opportunity to speak. So please, we would love for you to come and speak here. I just want to let you know that we also have a freebie or a free course that I created, and I want to share with you what it has, and I will quickly go over what it contains. I just created it today. So basically, this is what I'm going to give you as a freebie for being here. And then I'll talk about in detail about it. Hold on one second. It's just, okay, there are a few questions here. Okay, so here it is. This is something that you're going to get it for free today. It's a mini course where, I don't know why it's like so slow. I apologize. So where I teach about how to start a passion project in high school. It's all there. The video is there, how to figure out your passion and everything at a high level. Then I also have a brainstorming exercise there for specifically AI and computer science. You can download this PDF where, yeah. So basically, I'm just going to share that as well. You will be able to brainstorm like how to go about uh, figuring out a project, right? What are the things that you can do with that? Like what starting from idea generation to project feasibility and everything. And also, I'm going to go deeply into the case study that Ninad did when he was in the beginning of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, we had another professor. So his research or his coding that he tried to do was to predict the genetic biomarkers for brain cancer. So what happens is AI modeling is used very heavily in the medical industry, especially for predicting like brain tumor. There's a biopsy that needs to be done. And I mean, the biopsy itself is very intrusive. So what Ninad was trying to do is read through all the images, which is in a DCI or some kind of a format, and go through it and see what is the level of tumor in that, whether a biopsy was needed and all that, trying to see if that particular program, it only needed to be like 60% like working or something like that. There was a competition there in Kaggle dataset. So Kaggle dataset is another place where you can get all the AI problems and everything. So he was trying to solve that. Right here is where the whole case study is mentioned here, how we went about doing it, and everything is here. And also, I also have another section where how to get certified in AWS. Okay, and I wanted to share a wonderful news that my student, my computer science students, the way I build their profile is they go through the AI research program. They pass their PCEP, which is a Python certification, and AWS AI is just recently started, and Ninad has to do his certification. He has other certifications, but not AI practitioner. So we are going to guide you in finishing the AI practitioner that just dropped this August. I'm getting another massively good intern from UMD. I'm going to make him do the certification, and he's going to help. And I also have another expert who's an AWS expert. So we have 3 people in our kitty who will be helping with the research program. Just need to quickly get to that. I'm just going to get to that like really quick, and I'll take your questions, of course. So basically, we have 3 experts who will be helping with the program. Of course, we have our professor from UMD Global campus, UMBC campus. She is an AI expert, so students will predominantly be working under her. Then we have a creative writer who's going to help write the research paper. So you are getting a research paper, an AI model, you're getting Python certification, you are getting AWS AI certification and internship, and also we encourage students to come and run hackathons. That is how you learn stuff. And then he is Arul. He has pretty much every AWS certification in the planet. He will come and help students with the AWS certification. So we have 3 experts here, and Ninad is also going to chip in. He's got to finish his this one first. I'm sorry, he's got to finish his certification, and also everything is written very clearly. All you have to do is go into our page. Everything is available here. If you want a call back from us, please privately put your number in there. I'll call you back. If you have any questions about our program, you will see that everything is listed out. It's starting on January 26th. We want students to, like, of course, enjoy their Christmas. Professors are not available. All the details, I don't know why we said 8, it should be 10. Sorry, a typo here. You'll see all the details here about the professors, the different options that are there. It's 10 group sessions, 2 one-on-one sessions with the research professor, 2 one-on-one sessions with the creative writer. We teach them thesis defense because we want to take students to go present it with the counselor and the teachers. Okay, and then we teach them how to submit in journals. You can check out our website. Right here, the past research paper, you will see that these are the papers that have been published by my students right here. We help them submit their paper for publishing as well. We also have all the links here. So basically, when your paper gets published, you get a DOI link like this that you can insert in your resume. Right? So that's super duper important. We get that. So we are like offering like a lot of things within that. I like to like cram in as much as possible. So that is something that we're very, very proud of offering. So what are you getting? Number 1, research. You're going to put the professor's name in the application. You will not put Gifted Gabber. You will put the professor's name. I'm not revealing the professor's name because people just go to their LinkedIn and bother them. And our agreement states that you will be exposed to her. She's an amazing professor. Okay, that's one. We will help you submit your paper for publishing. It will take anywhere from 6 months. Okay, publishing takes time. Then we are going to help you with a PCEP certification. It is an honors and awards in your application. Okay, PCEP, Python certification. This is a very valid certification. Then AWS AI practitioner. It just dropped. So we are still preparing. Ninad has to go through the exam. We will guide your child in doing the exam. Arul, who's an expert, will come and help. Then we have a wonderful intern who's going to join us, who's going to help students. AWS certification takes time. Got it? And then they are going to come back and help with the research program. It's a proper internship, proper employment with Gifted Gabber. At that time, they can put our company name, Gifted Gabber, on their resume that they are an intern, but they should have finished their research, and we invite them back for the next batch, which is in summer, to come and mentor the other students. And they are going to help the other kids with the Python, with the AI. I mean, what better way to get grilled by another kid, right? And then if they're up for it, we invite them to come and run hackathons. And hackathon is what? They have to come up with a solution and create the questions and make kids do it. If you have not attended any of our hackathons, we ran them over summer. I mean, being grilled in the middle of a Zoom session by a middle schooler on a Python library, dude, you got to get your act together. And that is what colleges are looking for. Colleges are looking for tangible results. Okay. So there is no fluff here. You've got to show tangible, measurable results. And there's no other program like our research program where you can literally show an outcome. Okay, so that is what we have going. Let's get with the questions. Thank you, Swati. I will call you back. Anyone else has any questions, please put them in the chat. You can ask anonymously or let me know. I will unmute you so that you can speak. We like to speak to people. So anything, so it's
There's one
yours.
question that maybe you can answer.
Which one, sir?
Attendee asks, my GPA is not very high. Can I still get into computer science?
Absolutely. Okay, I have to tell you this wonderful story of my student. He had 2.8 GPA. Okay, what can be done, right? But he showed up. I mean, my students even come to my house for counseling who are close to me. So he used to come every day to my house and work on his application. Guess what? He failed in his PCP certification the first time, but second time he passed. He came and conducted hackathon. He was part of the AI research. Got it. And guess what? He got into University of Boulder with 56K scholarship. Not kidding. 2.8 GPA. Right. So the best way is your extracurricular activities. I'm not saying that hey, don't get good grades, but grades are not the only thing. And we've seen that most of the students who come to me are either average or below average. I don't judge them. Got it? Yeah. So the question is, can it be done in summer? I'm sorry, it's the professor availability. We don't professor availability. Because of that, we cannot promise if it will be done in summer. Most of the professors like to work with PhD candidates, right? It's extremely difficult to get a professor who works with high school students. I had to hire a corporate recruiter, headhunt them, like talk to like tens of professors to make them agree to work that. So when you have an opportunity, you just grab it. And also getting into the research program means it will help them with their AP computer science principles and Java programming because they're learning algorithms and everything. Okay, and if you're doing AP research or seminar, definitely you can use that. So I wouldn't push it to summer. I mean, you never know what happens. Okay, be as competitive as possible. Okay, the question is ninth grader here. What is the path? What are we expecting kids to do all these certifications before going to college? SM, absolutely. You know how competitive it is to be an Asian. I'm sorry, I'm not being a racist, a brown or an Asian in computer science and STEM. Absolutely, you've got to stack yourself with extracurricular activities, and you've got to start early in the ninth grade. Right? So you've got to keep hustling, and we are here to provide you that opportunity. The very reason we started this company is we could not find those opportunities. I flew Ninad to San Diego in a red-eye flight to find to work with this coach, and I decided there were not good programs that were out there, and that is why I created. So,
Yeah.
so this is an exceptional program, and I can tell you, my student who got into University of Boulder with 2.8 GPA, AI research, hackathons. Got it? That's the formula for a computer science major student. Okay. I hope that answers your question, SM. My son is in sixth grade. Can he do it, Jay? No, I'm so sorry. Sixth grader, their left brain is still developing. It's a bit very complex. And Dr. Monica, it's advanced. So it's very nice that he's an eighth grader. Let me know. I can let him do the Python certification. Let's take baby steps. Please reach out to me. I would love to help you. He can start with Python coding and small projects, but this is for eighth graders and above. Got it? Yeah. But
One other
thank you.
question was, hi, curious why these many APs and how did you manage? Okay. Yeah, why these many APs? Like academically, when I was in high school, I wanted to push myself, right? I wanted to learn more. I loved learning, A. And B, like, sure, it was stressful, but I think it taught me to not only learn better, but write better, do better. Like the AP classes are more intense, right? So like I kept pushing myself to take APs because I think learning was really, really important. And B, like the more you're in an environment that, requires more of you, is more intense, the better prepared you are for the real world, right? Where like things are tough, right? Things are very complex. you get pushed in a lot of pulled in a lot of different directions, right? So starting early on, tougher things makes tougher things in the future easier was my thinking. And I think it turned out to be true because I think when I'm put in stressful situations now, or more academically involved situations where on time crunch, or is more expected of you, it's easier because I had that experience in high school, right? Taking the higher level classes. Which high school did I attend? I attended Downingtown East in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and also another reason why he took APs are if you're in the gifted program. Let me talk about a bit about the gifted program as well. A gifted child. We are in Pennsylvania, so they have a GIIP and everything, and you have to ask your school if you are if your IQ is 130 and above, you're deemed gifted. Okay, so Ninad was in that area. Even if you're 129, there's a psychological test and there's a WISE 4 exam. I don't know if that's changed, is what they do to assess your IQ. And since he was in that program, in high school, what some schools do is they do not offer a gifted special program, pull students out of the classroom and give enrichment. Instead, they tell you double up on your APs to enhance your learning. So when Downingtown School, you have a one-on-one plan that's created in the giftedness. I don't know which school district, I'm sorry, which state you're from. I also have a gifted course to help you navigate through that. So I have that. Please go over it. You need to have your rights. You need to sometimes negotiate with schools. That's what we did. That's what I did. So when the school came and told me that, can you waive off and say Nina doesn't need gifted help in high school? I said, no, I'm not going to sign that. I want you to give some kind of help to him. Okay, you don't need to teach him anything, but you need to guide him. So I told the gifted teacher, you need to find him the best programs that is out there, and you need to help him build that profile. I didn't know, I was not a counselor. So they built everything for him. I had nothing to do with that. Okay, so Ninad had a gifted teacher, and his counselor sat together and created the entire plan for all 4 years for courses. So he needed that kind of enhancement. He had finished geometry, algebra 2. He did pre-calc outside the school. They prepared everything for him. A plan was created for him, what programs he could do, and everything by the school. Counselor is your best friend. Get it? So that was one of the reasons they did that. Every year they would come and say, hey, can you waive the giftedness? I'm like, no, what support have you provided my son? So that was how it worked. Okay. And then AP Capstone Diploma just got launched that year in our school district and all over, and he leveraged that. So he did a lot of research in school. Right. But the only thing that was missing, that I failed him as a parent, is not put him in a structured research program, because he loved crypto. He was so crazy. With his friend, he got like a crypto machine. His dream was to put those Bitcoin ATMs in all malls. He and his friend got a Bitcoin ATM machine from Russia, wanted to spray paint orange. I still had that disgusting orange spray paint in my garage. He did all of that, but I could not find a research professor. I did not know the process. He would be invited to teach crypto to adults in the library. We used to drive everywhere where he would teach what is, I don't even know what it is. He would do that, but he didn't have a formal paper or anything, right? And then when he interviewed with a Harvard person, he didn't get into Harvard, but he made connections with a Harvard. The person who went to Harvard had what was it? He had what company was it, Ninal? I forgot.
Hedge fund, yeah.
Hedge fund. So he went and interned there. So you see, there were a lot of missed opportunities there, which I want to fix, right? And as a guinea pig, I tried on my sons, right? So that's how it is. Sorry, go ahead, Ninal. I hope that answers your question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Mom. I guess one, and also coming into college, one other thing that was really helpful, which I talked about, was that taking that many APs when I was in high school was really beneficial in accelerating my college journey. Right, I was able to fit in my master's and also my bachelor's. I don't think I would have been able to do that. Definitely wouldn't have been able to do that without those AP courses. So that kind of bundle of AP courses that I had in high school really kind of propelled me in college, which I didn't really realize when I was applying for colleges. I didn't even think about that, but it's a really important benefit. When did you figure out what you wanted to major in? I think it was like during the early high school time when I was researching. AP Computer Science A was really helpful. I took that in, I think, 10th or 11th grade. I think 10th grade. So I got to dabble a little bit in programming. I was like, this is pretty cool. AP Research was awesome too because I picked crypto as my topic, so I had to go, dive deep into crypto, and I ended up enjoying kind of the concepts and programming involved behind that. So it was definitely those formative experiences in research and programming in high school that propelled me to major in computer science in college. So yeah, I did my degrees in computer science at Georgia Tech. Yep. And I think that does the kid need to be gifted to bundle up on APs? I think it's dependent on school district. Um, Whether or not some schools I don't think even have a formal gifted program and stuff. So it's separate for a lot of things. But I know it's not required, but you can still take a good amount of APs even if you're not in gifted.
Yeah. Okay, I can pitch in and answer that. You don't need to be in the gifted program to be exceptional. Okay. So my younger son always used to feel that he was not in the gifted program, but he also graduated. He's a senior, graduated with a lot of APs. He was like, "Oh my God, my older brother is a rock star. I'm not, but he did exceptionally well. They went to the same school." Only the difference between a gifted child and a not gifted child is what I'm going to explain to you. A normal child needs 5 to 8 repetitions to master a concept, but a gifted child just needs 1 to 3 repetitions. So the thing is, the school district will let you accelerate because they know that you're a gifted child. You understand? You can handle that course load. Please, it's not a rat race, and we're not saying that that's the secret for success. No means am I saying. I'm just sharing what worked for us and what he has done, because I've invited you here to tell you how he did 20 APs, and I have to tell you that, right? So the school provided him that support, but it needed a lot of a lot of like we had it was built by the gifted teacher who gave us this plan, but it needed approval from a much higher authority to go through that. And every school is different. If you have a unique case, come to me and I'll teach you how to go talk to your counselor and everybody. They will help you. Okay. I was not aware of that. I was not a counselor, right? So this is what the school district did for him. When did you start high school? At that time? Okay.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, it makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And also, there's another question
Did
that
you?
says, so this question is for my son who's going to ninth grade. Perfect. How do you survive with so many AP courses and balance other activities? Were you part of any clubs and how did you have a grounded application? Esan, that's a great question. I'll just tell you that before Ninad answers, he was a very level-headed, goof off kid. It was not like his nerd. You can look at him. He was not that nerdy. He would goof off, have friends, hang out. It was just, I will tell you, executive functioning skills management is that the foundation that I laid with them. I will explain to you the way I built the discipline, and I'll teach you how to do that. Is they had they had to study for that very densely for that time. It was not like Ninad was a bookworm or studied all the time, but that 1 hour of studying that he did was concentrated and dense. And he paid attention in class. That is why we have our notes taking skills and everything. So it was just good time management and being on top of his homeworks and everything. He goofed off. He was very happy. He wasn't a nerd. He didn't cry that I had to go and talk to teachers to reduce his burden. It was his thing. And also, this formula may not work for everybody. I'm just telling you about the potential that is there, but it depends on the child, right? My younger son is not like that. He didn't do that. He just took as many APs as he liked, but not doubled and tripled on it, right? So that's the difference. I'm not saying everybody has to do that. Nina, do you want to add?
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, totally correct. I want to emphasize what Coach just said. Not everybody has to go do 20 APs and whatever and all this thousand stuff, right? That's not by no means like the key to success, right? Like my like when I think about what propels success, right, as a kid, I think it comes down to pushing yourself, right? So pushing yourself does not mean you have to take 20 APs, right? Pushing yourself and then developing a passion, right? When you're passionate about something, the time kind of just flies off, right? Flies away. So when I was doing the crypto research, for example, like it didn't feel like a chore. It didn't feel like an actual activity. It felt like something I wanted to do, right? So the hours kind of flew by. It didn't feel like I was so stressed out in my day that I had to do this, right? Is I wanted to do it, right? So that's where passion comes into play as well. Is with the activities that you want to do, right? Let's say you're super interested in computer science, super interested in AI, right? Research in that field becomes fun, right? And when it becomes fun, it's not a chore. And when it's not a chore, you don't feel stressed out, even if you spend a lot of time on it, right? That's one thing I would say for outside activities. Inside activities, like in terms of like academics, yes, like I made sure I was on top of my stuff. I put reminders to make sure things were due. The time I spent outside of school studying, which it was a good amount, I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I was very focused and wanted to make sure that I got the work done and got work product out of it. Went to class, was in good standing with my teachers, and that's kind of how I survived, right? Um, Purely from executive function perspective, that's true, but also making sure that your kids and if you're a kid, you have time out of school to have fun and relax, right? Like the times with my friends, the times doing stuff like going to DECA competitions and goofing off, as my mom said, was really the time for me to rejuvenate, right? And make sure that I don't burn out. So very important, right? Like I'm not saying that like in terms of a parent, right? Like if you're a parent, you shouldn't be telling your kid study 24/7, do not go out, right? Weekends are their time to relax. I spend a lot of my weekends having fun, goofing off with my friends. But that goof off time, that time having fun, enjoying, really helped me when it came to focusing on my schoolwork, right? It's a balance. Life is a balance. Nobody can work 24/7 on something, right? But it's about pushing yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to take 20 APs, but pushing yourself, right? No matter how many APs you take, and having fun with the activities. That just makes the time fly.
Okay. Okay, great. I just want to share his transcript. Nina, do I have your permission? Just
Yeah,
to
it's fine. Is there any information on there that's bad, or that you can't
Yeah,
show?
very bad. Okay, so I'm
No,
just
no,
going to share his transcript from school. So I want to tell you that please do not ignore the histories and the English. Oh, or don't think that just because he's doing computer science, you don't need to do biology. That's the common mistake. So as you can see here, he started off early with three APs, this world history, AP biology. He really struggled with AP biology. This is not a very good strategy, not a good strategy. He did struggle with AP biology in ninth grade because he had not done honors biology. Then AP seminar, he enjoyed a lot. Okay, it was a new course. The teacher was very good. He liked that, but he had finished honors geometry in the summer. Let me just open up and show you what he did. He did some histories before that in the thing. Okay, just gonna go over this. Okay. Okay, and then in grade 10, he did computer science. Then he did AP research, seminar, and then research, and then chemistry. Okay, he could do chemistry because he had the base of the AP biology. Then he did calculus AB here. He had to do pre-calc outside the school privately because he had to achieve this goal. Again, it was the school that gave us all the resources. I didn't know anything about it. Then in the 11th grade, he did APUSH. See, you cannot ignore history. Then he did AP Lang. See, he has two. He also did English APs, right? Lang and Lit, Calculus BC, Physics 1, AP Spanish. I don't recommend Spanish language because they get very, very hard. You need to know colloquial way of speaking. So he did struggle with AP Spanish in the final exam. I remember him coming and telling me somebody from Spain spoke rapid Spanish and we are not Spanish speaking people. So that is a thing that you need to be careful about. Then AP Computer Science Principles. Now you see it comes here as pre-calc, but he didn't do that in pre-calc. The transcript shows he did in pre-calc, okay? But he did it outside the school. And then in 12th grade, he took Lit, then US government. Econ in our school district, you do one semester of micro, another semester of macro, which adds up to two APs. Then psychology. Psychology is like a chill. I love this APs. My students love it too. Psychology is also something you need to pack your APs to show your course rigor. It doesn't matter whether it's related to your subject or not. You just take them. Then stats. He took stats. Environmental science, and our school district has a project, graduation project. I hope I answered everything. Did I miss out on something? I mean,
Yeah, that's good. Yep. The next question was, can you take dual enrollment classes coupled with APs?
Yes. Okay, so I'm sorry, I will answer this, then I'll give him an opportunity. So I recorded a few videos, so it's fresh in my head. I'm sorry. So the thing is, what is dual enrollment? So certain AP courses, the school district will have association with another college. It can be Pitt, University of Pittsburgh is what Downingtown has with, and then they have it with Delaware County College or something like that. So certain AP courses, they will give, if you pay extra money, it will say that, oh, I give you credit from, what is that, University of Pittsburgh. Okay. So Ninad's AP Computer Science Programming was from Pittsburgh, and Calculus BC was from Pittsburgh. Certain courses, they give you the dual enrollment. Okay, it is like, okay, you did it from this college, you have to pay extra money because they have that, because it's a college curriculum, right? It's college credits that you get, right? So that is the difference. Again, you have to look over your program of study, right? And this is what I do with my students when they come to course selection. We look over which are the courses that are dual enrollment. Not all of them will be, right? So that is dual enrollment. Okay. And also another thing that I want to warn you is, do not take AP courses outside the school or do self-study. Don't. AP courses are very hard as it is in a high school. They are college level courses that you're studying. So you have the regular course, the honors, and the AP. So in school itself, with the teacher teaching is hard. If you take that out and say, oh, I'm going to do self-study, recipe for disaster. Please don't do that. And calculus BC, please take it only after AB. I know a lot of parents like accelerate that, and then the children struggle, and then you complain that the children are struggling. Don't do that. Follow the plan and don't try to like kind of accelerate, right? So go ahead, Nina, share your.
Yeah, exactly right. Like another big benefit about dual enrollment is that some colleges don't offer credit for AP, right? For AP courses. Some colleges don't, right? But a dual enrollment class, which is basically a class that is registered in a college, right? They'll accept that college course most likely, right? Colleges are more willing to accept a college course than a AP credit course. So that's one thing to note. Is one of the big benefits of dual enrollment is that it's more likely to be considered to be credit within college.
Yeah. Okay. Swati has a question. Why pre-calc after finishing calculus AP and BC? No, he took pre-calc in ninth grade, but since it was not part of the school, it showed up in the transcript later because he took it in ninth grade. Okay. His math progression was pre-calc in ninth grade. 10th grade was calculus AB. 11th was calculus BC, stats in 12th. But the thing is, since it was taken outside the school, they had to like verify everything. It showed up in the transcript as 11th grade, but he actually did it in 9th. Okay. But now I want to tell you, I just recorded a video. You have AP pre-calc AP course. Instead of honors pre-calc, you have a pre-calc AP course. So right now, instead of 3 AP courses, you have 4 AP courses that you can take. So check your school district if they are offering the pre-calc as well as an AP. Okay. So that is also there. And also I want to tell you about the new AP courses that have come. There's African American Studies. Okay. So when it gets launched, it's fairly easier. So if those new AP courses are there, take them. AP African History is a good one. I don't know if Downingtown School District has that, but I know from my counselor network that it's been released. If it's there, just take it. It's going to be much easier. And it shows that, oh, you like learning about other cultures and everything. Yeah.
Yep.
So Swati, I hope that answered your question. Any other questions, please put them in the chat or I can promote you as a panelist. Anything you want to add, Ninad?
No, I think it's good. Yeah, thanks for all the questions and thanks for listening in.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically we are starting our AI cohort. Ninad will be part of it. He's the one who runs all the hackathon. He guides students into creating the hackathons and everything that we did in summer. He's going to be an active part of it. He's not a teacher, um, right? So he is going to do his AWS AI certification, which I've been telling him forever. It just dropped now, and we have all the training materials. We have Arul, who's the AWS expert. So you're working with three experts. One is our research professor. She's amazing. Okay, I can't reveal her name. Once you get in our ecosystem, you'll have that. She's from UMD. Then we have our creative writer to write the research paper. Then we have Arul, who is our AWS expert. Okay, then we have another intern who's going to help students at a ground level for the AWS certification. Okay, so that's what we have. What do you suggest for 8th grade summer? What are your activities? Yeah, I mean, a lot of them like certification and everything, passion project, something that's tangible. Like any activity, if I get asked a lot of questions, what is the best extracurricular activity? This is the test I want you to put through any activity. What is the outcome that you can show? Okay, number one, does it align with your child's interest? Okay, now Ninad followed his father. His father is a computer science graduate. The younger one followed, he didn't become a STEM. The younger one is a political science kid, right? So he was naturally interested in coding. So that is the way he went. Number one, it has to align with the child's interest. Number two, can you show a tangible outcome? Right? Like measurable, tangible outcome. It can be very simple, but everything needs to be an outcome. In our research program, we are showing you a research paper that's being submitted for publishing. Then we are going to show you, I'm sorry, you're going to pass certifications, not one, but two. Right? So these are the tangible results that you get. So always look for activities that you can show a result and not just consumption, right? There should be an outcome to it. Yes, you consumed it in terms of doing a course or something, but what was the outcome that you can show in your application, right? So that's important. Ninad, you want to add?
Oh yeah, makes sense. Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. Okay. And Vashisht, I will say, Ninad, what was your SAT, ACT score? You have to tell them that story. I'll tell you that. Okay.
Yeah, I took a. Oh yeah, okay. I took the SAT a few times. Didn't get the score I wanted. Took it I think 2 times. Then went to the ACT. Didn't get the score I wanted, so I took it again. And then I finally got a 34 on the ACT, which I used for the colleges.
Yes. Yeah. So the story about the SAT is he cried buckets. He couldn't pass. I mean, he couldn't uh, pass the 1470 threshold. So it was like constantly a problem for him, right? Because English passage was the biggest problem for him, right? He was very logical, left brain, but the English passage was hard. So we hired a tutor to help him with that. We tried both SAT and ACT. It takes multiple attempts. He did not get his score in the first attempt. He took about 3 or 4 times to get that score. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, great question. Yeah. Anyone else? Any other questions? Ninad is not going to come. I had to take him a lot of coaxing, bribe him with a lot of things for him to come in here. He would rather go work in Moderna than run his own company that he started. So please ask him any questions that you have. I have to resort to a lot of bribing, blackmailing, emotional blackmail to get him here. So it's your chance. You want to unmute yourself. I can let you become a moderator. We just want to share whatever is there. My whole purpose of starting this company is to educate you. That's it. That's it. The possibilities. I'm not saying everything is supposed to be the way it is. I'm just showing you the possibility, right? Showing you the promised land, right? What are the opportunities that you can get, right? Okay, that's another question. Who are the other teachers in the cohort? Maya, this is Professor, I can't give her name. She's an AI expert. So the thing is, the way we run our program is get experts in that field. So this is Professor. She's an expert in AI. And I have another professor who's a creative writer. Students need to write. See, that's another thing that we are teaching is to write a 4,000 word research paper. It's not easy. We have to teach them how to write the introduction, the APA certificate. I'm sorry, APA references and everything, diagram. I'm a bit crazy about that diagram. Then they'll put their Git Ninad, is that the GitHub
repository, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All that stuff in that. So that is the creative writer. And then the other one is the AWS certification. He's like an AWS certification guru. He just loves coming with kids. He will quiz kids. He will go over the format. He will teach everything. So we have 3 people. Okay. Okay, the other question is, my daughter is in 10th grade now. She was in the gifted program till middle school, and we moved to a different country in 8th grade, and they said they don't have gifted in the county. But I recently heard from one of the friends whose son is gifted, who goes to the same school. Okay, the same thing happened with Ninad. So we were in New Jersey. He was a gifted child in New Jersey. But then when we moved in middle school to Pennsylvania, he had to get retested. So because they had different sets, he did get retested and he got into the Pennsylvania's gifted program. So if you need any help, you can tell me which school district is it. I'm familiar with most of them, except for Massachusetts. Pretty much every state has gifted programs. Okay. Yes. So yes, let me know and I can help you navigate through that. I also have a free program on gifted program here. You can go over that. It was recorded with my co-parent. I have another parent in the Downingtown School District. She was an advocate for giftedness. Okay. So it was recorded along with her. So please go over that. Oh, where is it? Okay. Where is the gifted? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm just getting there. Okay, so this is the gifted code. Oh my God, it's not working. I'm sorry. I'll fix it. I'll fix the link. I'll tell you. So sorry. So I have a whole program on giftedness, how to not fight, how to understand the giftedness, what is twice exceptional, how you have to communicate with your counselors to get what you want. I will fix that course link and you can watch that. Okay. Great question. Thanks, Nada. Could you please share the payment plan again? Vasish, when you enroll in the program, it is all there. The payment plan, it's all, enrollment needs to happen online for this. I'm just going to quickly show you. Oh, I'm sorry. I had a coupon. I'm sorry. I didn't tell you that. I'm sorry. It's just been a busy day. So the thing is, you enroll online, you ask us questions, but all the enrollment happens here. So you can put the coupon, wait, she gave me the coupon. What was it? 2025 spring. Let me just see if this works. Please put that in, you get $200 off. Oh no, wait, let me just quickly check. I will give you the coupon. Lauren, are you here? If I have to give the coupon, let me just see that. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to see. I was told of, okay, 25 spring. Okay, sorry. It's spring 2025. I apologize. My team did everything and here I am. It's spring 2025. If you apply that, you get $200 off. Okay, and you have the payment of you have the option of doing 1 payment, 4 payments, and if you want to upgrade to premium, all the options are there. It's spring sorry, I can't spell, spring 2025. And even if you miss out on the coupon, please don't worry, I will refund you the $200. So all the payment, everything needs to be done online. Because we have a whole system that will put you into that. So yes, great question. Who else? Yeah, can you, okay, SM, hold on 1 second. I didn't see your message. I'm so sorry. Allowed to talk. Yeah. So SM, you can unmute yourself. Yeah, please unmute yourself and speak.
Hey, hi. Do I join as a panelist or stay as an attendee?
You can do that. You can join as a panelist. Anything is fine. You can speak. Okay, I promoted her. Oh, did I lose her?
I think what happened was it unmuted me by immediately. No, hi. Thank you for this session. I'm Smita. I know I just said it as I said, but my son is going into 9th grade. So I know this course. I think I was kind of interested when I was looking into it, like what's Ninad's journey. And so thank you for taking us through that. And you guys been talking a lot on AI and so on, right? So I wanted to understand, do you also have like, okay, let's say he's getting into ninth grade. What are the things that you need to do? Do you do that counseling outside of
Yes.
this?
Oh, I'll answer the question. Of course, we have counseling as well. We do counseling as well, but ninth grade is too early for counseling in the sense it's more about building your profile. I can sell you my program. I can tell you to enroll into that. But the thing is, in ninth grade, I would say the choice is either to do research or join our counseling program, or you can, if doing both will be very overwhelming. So we have counseling also. We are going to launch that. It's going to start in January, where we have a complete program where we will help you build a profile, right? But I'm thinking it is a bit too early for your child. Eighth grade, is it?
Now he's going into ninth grade. So right
No,
now
is
in eighth
he
grade,
currently, what grade is he?
he's currently in eighth grade,
Ah,
and I'm
ah, ah.
from
So yes,
Maryland.
yes. So sorry to cut you off. The thing is that your clock starts ticking when you come into the ninth grade. So in our counseling, we literally give you activities to do to build your profile, which your child cannot do because they're not in high school. You understand? We have a counseling program. If you want counseling, I mean, I will throw in free a session free for you if you join the AI research. Got it? That is all you need. I will help you build the courses, how to negotiate with your school to get those AP courses in ninth grade. That's another thing that we did, okay, is negotiate to get in the courses in ninth grade. I'll help you with that, but you don't need counseling now. Your child needs counseling when they are in the high school. You get it, Smita?
Okay, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
No, I was kind of thinking like, because trying to understand, first, I think we are still trying to understand what his passion is and so on, right? And it's definitely towards STEM, but wanted to understand 9, 10, 11, 12. How do we plan? What are the things that we need to expose? Because at times kids' interests change too, right? So
Yeah.
we have to be able to give them that space to understand themselves and what are the things they're interested. So I was curious to understand what kind of counseling you do. But I think your program is more geared towards trying to put in AI research and what you've been talking about at the moment, right?
So the thing is, it has to be specific, right? You cannot be
Okay.
like see, research has to be very specific. So it's the major. I mean, in the sense, okay, let's start from the beginning. Forget about AI or anything. It's med and non-med. That's it, right? So med and non-med. So non-med means everything comes in that: political science, engineering, everything, right? And you need to build specific profile for college, right? And it's perfectly fine, because my younger son said, oh, I want to be a doctor. He went and he did all kinds of courses, and he came back and said, no, I don't want to be a doctor. I watch too much Suits. I love Harvey. I want to be him. I want to be a lawyer, right? So it's perfectly fine. Your child's left brain is still growing. So it'll take like ninth or 10th grade for them to figure out. But if they are showing passions to build things and coding, and if they are like, if it's your husband who's like a nerd, like my husband who only talks code, and that's how Ninad got interested, right? The dad was more interested in robotics than Ninad, so he started robotics class, right? So it's like that. If he shows those sparkle, that interest, then this is a good thing, right?
Right. Okay. I don't want to take too much time. Probably I'll have a chat with you outside.
Sure. No
Uh,
problem. We
Thank
also, yeah,
you.
we have career counselors. I want to let you know we have 25 people. I'm proud to say that my team knows more than me, right? I have an excellent career counselor, Coach Anusha. She went to UC Berkeley for career counseling. I went to college, UC Berkeley for college counseling. So we are all here. We eat, drink, sleep, college. Okay, so that's all we do every day. We are like, oh my God, where's the next guinea pig? How do we build that profile? What can we do? Oh my God, we've got to do this. Oh, I read this somewhere. We have to apply on a child. We are crazy people, crazy college nerds. Okay, so yes. Okay, there's a question there. Do you have any kids in your program who are going to private school? Absolutely. My son is currently going to private school in 6th grade. Absolutely. We have kids. I can also help you with that kind of expertise as well. We do that. I'm an educational consultant, right? And I started off being a study skills coach. That's all I did when I started. I used to help kids whose grades were like really struggling, who had social issues, anxiety issues, who are all on the autistic spectrum. That's all I did. And after that, as my practice grew, people started asking about college counseling. I went to UC Berkeley, built this program. And now that I have people running it, I've gone back to my LD support, which is learning difficulty support program and everything. So we offer soup to nuts. Please come to us. We want to solve problems, right? Not problems. We just want to love. We love creating spikes and profiles, right? So that's what it is. There's another question. My son is interested in mechanical engineering. Love it. If he takes any APs that's not giving credit for bachelor's, will it be fine? This is after he maxed out on his required. That's perfectly fine. It's not like every AP has to be credited. There are rules. IVs don't take AP credits. But you have to have APs because you have to show course rigor to colleges, right? And also we had a student in mechanical engineering. He did nanoscience research on microparticles, on plastics. He did that research, and then we guided him. He loved cars. So he went and he interned in a car shop, a mechanic shop. There's nothing wrong with that. He got his hands dirty. He learned a lot. We helped him build that. He got in, his acceptances are still coming in. So we built those kind of unique profiles, but it always has research in them. Research, course rigor, and everything. And that's how it is. For engineering, we have nanoscience, which is a catch-all, right? For computer science major, we have AI because that's the in thing. We used to have cybersecurity, but the professor moved to India. Okay. And then for biomed, we have different research. But let me tell you, being a counselor, I meet with college counselors. Admission officers. And the number one thing that they tell me they look for in a student is research, right? So it cinches that thing in there. All your scholarship, your profiles, it's the secret is your profile building, right? Why should college throw money at you? That's the question. You can be on a hamster wheel and try to get the best scholarship. But the question is, what makes your child candidature that good, right? He got into Duke with 50% off. He didn't go there, but he got those kind of scholarships. USC was 50% off. He got a lot of scholarships, right? So why? Because it was all in the profile building, right? So that's the answer. Yeah. How did the student get internship in a mechanic shop? Because we tried. I mean, you please. This is something that is part of our counseling. If you join our counseling program, we will help you because it's not just me. I have a whole team, and we help closely work towards that. It's all about your resume building, showing what you have done. Okay, for any company, it is like what's in it for them. Why should they hire your child even as an intern, right? So we built that. We built that for him, all right, to tell a compelling story, right? So that's how it is. And my students, they come into my program. The student who got into Stanford, she did a research program, used our research program to get into MIT's biomed internship, then went into Stanford, right? So it's all about that ladder that you take to climb, all right? Okay, any other questions? Thank you so much for being here. You spent like an hour, 15 minutes to learn. You really, really care. We are here to guide you. We can only help you if you get into one of our programs, right? I really want to thank you for being here. The recording is on our YouTube. You can just check there. You can subscribe. It's all there on our YouTube channel. You don't need to like kind of it's all happening right there. Everything is there. Okay, if you don't have any other questions, I will let you guys go. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing a lot of you in my AI research program, in the thesis defense, and in my internship program and everything. I would love for students to get into our ecosystem. It's a